So we've always been told you only get one chance to make a good first impression, but I want to share with you why that's not always the most important. Stick around. Okay, Mike Breeze here with the Embrace Wellness Group, and you've always heard that you only get one chance to make a really good first impression, and that's true. I don't want to take away from that, but I don't think that's always the most important or what we should only focus on. And let me tell you a story of something that happened to me a few years ago, and kind of really shine some light on this. So I went to an event. It was a networking event, not network marketing, but they had a lot of different businesses there. And as I'm there, this one gentleman approaches me. He was a financial advisor. And he says, Mr. Breeze, we haven't officially met, but I've been keeping up with you on some different things. And by this time, we actually had started gaining some momentum. And I mean, he was dressed, he was sharp. I mean, he was very professional, and he stuck his hand out and had a really good firm handshake. And, just from a first impression, it was phenomenal. And he says, do you have a financial advisor? And I said, actually, I don't at this time. And this is something definitely we need to look into. He handed me his business card, and I told him I will follow up with you in a couple of days. Matter of fact, we exchanged information. He followed up with me in a couple of days, which was, again, professional. Meanwhile, I went home and I got on social media. I start researching this guy. If I'm going to trust him with my money, I want to see what he's like. And lo and behold, as I get on social media, I notice his cover picture, or his profile picture rather, there he is. His tie is kind of cockeyed. It's loosened and kind of off to one side. He's got those big sunglasses on, like he's in a photo booth. He's got a beer in one hand. I think it's a bottle of wine or champagne in the other hand. There was a girl on both sides of him, and he looked like he was hammered drunk. Well, that was the second impression of him. Needless to say, when he called me back, I think it was 2 or 3 days later, he said, Mr. Breeze, we met at the network and marketing event. I'm so-and-so. Wanted to go over some things. And I said, look, I would love to meet with you in person. So I did. And I told him, I said, I appreciate this, but you're not getting my business. And I told him why. And I think it was like an aha moment for him as well. And he says, I assure you that's not who I am. I understand. But at the networking event, he knew he had put on his A game. He knew that. But behind the scenes, he didn't realize. To me, that speaks volumes. That's who he truly is, in my opinion. Now, I'm sure he's a great guy. The problem is, that's the opinion I've got of him. And that, I dug into a little bit of his personal life, I guess, going through that. Your second impression, a lot of times, is more important than your first impression. A lot of you, look at your social media profiles. Do you have a good picture on there? I always tell people we have a training through the Embrace Wellness Group that we do with people about how to set up their social media. The training, I think, is like $500 if you was to buy it. It's crazy, but we show people how to set this up. If you are representing a company, multi-million or even $1 billion company, our specific company is getting close to $2 billion a year. It's a huge company. If you're going to represent that company, you need to look professional. Now, I'm not saying every picture of you needs to be professional, but your profile, it needs to be you, not you and a whole bunch of different people, but it needs to be you. You need to be dressed appropriately. I'm not going to say professionally, but appropriately. You are a business owner, and you need to come across as that. Again, if you go on my page or my wife's page, you're not going to see anything about our company necessarily or anything like that. But what you are going to see is a lot of family pictures and lifestyle pictures. If that turns somebody off, I don't care. But you're not going to see me at the bar or the club just getting sloshed. I don't put that out there just for everybody so they can make an impression about me. So you want to look at these things, and you want to make sure to get good training on this. It's your second impression. When nobody else is looking, you think, well, I'm just going to run to the store and flip-flops and a tank top, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But understand, if you happen to bump into somebody, you're introducing them to your company. Now, a lot of times on these videos, I have people say, Mike, why are you wearing a hoodie? Well, I got into this business so I don't have to dress up all the time. But at the same time, I don't mind you seeing me that way. Just be aware, and that's the only purpose of this video. Be aware of what you're putting out there. You're going to attract people like you. So if you're putting a lot of those crazy pictures up there, think about it and ask yourself, would you do business with somebody that's, that looks like that? Especially financial advisor. It was horrible. Since then, he has replaced it. I've seen it very professional now. Matter of fact, I think he had it professionally done. So he's doing really, really well with that now. So understand it's not always your first impression. You do need to make a good first impression. I agree wholeheartedly. But to me personally, the second impression I get of somebody is usually more valuable as long as they made a good first impression. If you bombed on the first impression, then I'm not even going to give you a chance to have a second impression. So it needs to be a good first impression, but understand the second impression. So I think I beat this a dead dog enough. Guys, if you got value out of this, make sure to share this with your friends, family members, and team members. Make sure to like our page at Mike and Lindsay Breeze here on Facebook. We also got a YouTube channel. I'll put a link for that as well. Let us know if we can help you. Help us to build a community so we can help you build an empire. Thanks.